What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, we've got another live fantasy football mock draft for you back on Yahoo with a 10-team half PPR mock where we will be selecting ninth overall. So, should be really interesting. And while we wait for this draft to begin, quick reminder, if you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter X at AllDayPigskin to continue interacting with us there. Let us hear it in the comments. Any questions you guys might have, we'll do our best to answer them all. But with that being said, let's tune into this thing. The draft is officially underway. Hopefully, nothing crazy happens here. We get picks that we can rely on with not too many people losing their minds and doing weird stuff. But, if these first two picks are any indication with let me pull up the draft board right here with Jamar Chase and Bijan Robinson, then even Saquon Barkley, we are off to a good start, followed by Jahmyr Gibbs. So the first four picks, I would say business as usual. Look, I know this is a half-team PPR build, but honestly, not a huge difference compared to full PPR, in my opinion, as far as rankings, as far as where some of these guys are going to go. If anything weird happens, I will make sure to point it out. Maybe you have Derrick Henry ranked a little bit higher with it being only half-point PPR, sure, but I mean, I've seen him go in the first round in full-point PPR as well, considering the type of year he is coming off of. So even with somebody like that, Justin Jefferson falls to the 107 since there was a run on running backs and CeeDee Lamb was selected before him. What I'm looking at right now, Nico Collins probably will be the pick if this goes to auto selection. Nico Collins, yep. And I have the ninth pick overall. If we're talking, running backs, McCaffrey, Genty, Achane, all guys that I like. You know me, I like to take a shot every once in a while. And I'm not scared of taking McCaffrey at this point in time. End of the first round, I'm going to pull the trigger, and then we'll see how we can go ahead and, pair that up with some other playmakers to potentially make us feel better about that situation. So we took McCaffrey, then Amon-Ra St. Brown, Malik Neighbors went off the board. Probably, honestly, if Neighbors was there, I would have strongly considered it, but, I wanted to be transparent with you guys. However, I mentioned it before, I'm looking at running backs. I think Genty is in the best situation, looking at upside, stuff like that. I'm going to go with him. Other names that I would have considered, Josh Jacobs. He feels a little bit safer maybe than some of these other players, like with Achane. If I hadn't taken Christian McCaffrey, I probably would have heavily considered Achane as well. But look, there's something about being aggressive and bold, and then there's towing the line between being a little bit, too over the top and getting two running backs like McCaffrey and Achane. Even though I think both are PPR studs, I realize what can happen if, Achane with the soft tissue thing reemerges. If, God forbid, something happens with McCaffrey, like in years prior. So trying to lessen the potential blow of, having two running backs in the first two rounds being out for a majority of the time, which would essentially spell the end of your fantasy football season. But either way, we went with Ashton Genty, Christian McCaffrey. I think that's kind of how you have to approach it if you are a Christian McCaffrey drafter. Then Brian Thomas, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving. Achane looks to be falling. I think it's just a combo of the fact that he's ranked a little bit too low here on Yahoo, in my personal opinion. Chase Brown being drafted ahead of him as well, which I think there, can be similar type of expectations for both those guys. PPR types of running backs on potentially high-powered offenses. I do think Achane is going to be more involved in the passing attack, but again, it really depends on what we see health-wise from him, from Tua, and some of those other backup running backs. So Achane goes here all the way at the second, though. I mean, I said getting somebody like a Genti to pair up with a Christian McCaffrey makes sense. Well, I'll tell you what, getting somebody like a Bijan Robinson to pair up with Achane sure makes a hell lot of a whole hell lot of sense as well. So kudos to that person on just staying calm, selecting Achane. There was a running back run, but guys like Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown all went before Achane. You know, we're getting closer and closer to kickoff, the start of the season, and when people start to see those red marks, those red Qs next to those names when you're drafting, you get a little bit nervous, you know? So I get it. You tighten up. You look at other options. Kyron Williams went at the end of the second round, followed by running quarterbacks now. Lamar and Josh Allen with the first 2 picks in the third. Drake London at this point in time, good value. Let's see what else we have here. James Cook just went. So running backs really being pushed up the board here, in my personal opinion. Makes me feel pretty good that I got McCaffrey and Genti to start off this thing. I was going to say, I was kind of waiting on the run for tight ends. Finally, Brock Bowers goes at the 304. Maybe you got pushed down a little bit because it's a 10-team league. Or Yahoo has, you know, the tight ends ranked a little bit lower. But, yeah, let's see. I mean, if McBride is there for me at the end of the third, I doubt that will happen because of auto pick. But I'm going to consider him, right? I think that's only fair. What other names do we have here? So wide receivers. Obviously, we got to go in the direction of wide receiver. I don't think there's any running backs that are... I mean, I know some people are really high on Omarion Hampton. I think we could go in that direction, but the fact that I have 2 running backs makes me feel pretty good. And right now, Trey McBride, I feel like at the end of the third is a really good value. I'm going to go ahead and pounce on that. So I feel good about that situation. We went ahead and got a positional advantage in a 10-team league at the position. I think it's a little bit more important to do so, that being the tight end position. I mean, if we really want to go balls to the wall, I can go quarterback and tight end in the third and the fourth round and see how questionable this squad looks in that situation. But yeah, we went with Trey McBride. George Kittle just went off the board. And then let's see if a quarterback goes here. Let's see if Jaden Daniels goes here or not. But wide receivers, I mean, I really think somebody like a JSN. I'd normally say Marvin Harrison here, but I've got Trey McBride. I don't want to load up too much on the Cards offense because, I mean, we've seen them get cold, right? JSN just went, yeah. Garrett Wilson, Terry Devontae. I really like DK Metcalf. I ain't going to lie to you, folks. And, you know, you're in a position here where you might have to reach. But you know what? Let's be behind the 8 ball. Let's just balls to the wall, throw caution to the wind. We got McCaffrey. We got McBride in the third. Let's get Jaden Daniels in the fourth. We've got a top-notch quarterback. We've got a top-notch tight end. We've got Christian McCaffrey. We've got a rookie in Ashton Genti. Bring it on. Let's see what happens, all right? And then we're going to put it together one piece at a time at wide receiver. This is, I mean, just throw caution to the wind type of draft and go with the upside and see what happens. So, draft results. Let's bring it up. We went with Jaden Daniels. Before that, Trey McBride. Omarion Hampton, Kenneth Walker in the fourth here afterwards. Evans, Jalen Hurts, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill. I mean, if we want to throw caution to the wind, we could have also gone Tyreek Hill at wide receiver. You know, in terms of upside in regards to the other wide receivers that are there, I mean, he is in contention, I would say, with the highest upside. Like Marvin Harrison, I do like him, but for the reasons I mentioned before with Trey McBride, I was looking elsewhere. Terry McLaurin, I don't think he has the same type of upside as Tyreek. Devontae Adams, I mean, he's contending with Puka Nakua. Devonta Smith, two up and down, contends with A.J. Brown. Jalen Waddle, I mean, he's the number 2 on that team. Terry McLaurin, Tony Pollard just got selected. Devontae Adams. Interesting to see that Travion Henderson here ranked a little bit lower. By this point in time, I'm used to Henderson being scooped up. Yeah. We'll see. I do think he's going to end up being the guy for the Patriots, but DK Metcalf just got selected. Yeah, I mean, I knew that would happen. But I just decided to take a chance and see if we could get lucky. So DK, Travion, Marvin Harrison, all guys that I think were good picks. It's our turn to draft. Let's see what we got here. Well, yeah. This is why you don't go tight end quarterback back to back. I'll tell you that right now. DJ Moore, I'd rather Roma Dunze. This is going to be a Jamison Williams, Courtland Sutton start. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, let's go Courtland Sutton, I think. Number 1 on that team, not sexy, but I think compared to these other guys, it's probably between him, DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley. I'll go with Courtland Sutton. Hoping the other positions can really, really hold their own here. I'll say that much. They're going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Hopefully we can get Roma Dunze later on. But I'll probably take a shot on somebody like a Rashee Rice here. I think this is the type of build that could really use somebody like a Rashee Rice. Let's see, Devonta Smith. Let's see where Rashee Rice is here on the Yahoo rankings, all the way at number 80. So I think unless somebody's specifically looking at him, he should be there for us. Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Other names here, McMillan. I'm personally out on McMillan. I just think that with Adam Thielen being there, I know there's rumors about, the Panthers trading him. Seems like that they're asking for too big of a price, and honestly, that doesn't make too much sense if you look at it objectively from the development of a Bryce Young. Like, Thielen has still got it going on. He's a very, very solid quarterback-friendly type of wide receiver, so I think he stays there. But there's other guys, regardless of Thielen, like Coker, potentially Renfro, Leggett, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers just implode at some point, and it's just hard to watch. So, I am staying away from McMillan. He's also dealing with a hammy right now. So we are in a situation where I'm looking at Ridley, Odunze, Rashee Rice, like I mentioned. I still think there's some solid running backs here that you could take a chance on and be very happy with. Tyrone Tracy, Pacheco, Aaron Jones, if we're talking starters. Probably should be taking Bijan Robinson as a handcuff to McCaffrey at some point in time. I will say that. What other guys, but I'm not too worried about running back, considering we've got McCaffrey and Genty. Let's see, wide receivers. Yeah, I mean, wide receiver is where what we have to focus on, really. So wow, DJ Moore is still there. That's kind of crazy. It's DJ Moore also 56, Odunze 63. So per Yahoo, DJ Moore and Roma Odunze much, much closer together. I've seen DJ Moore be an easy 4th round selection before. Okay, interesting to see. So I'm trying to I think Caleb Johnson at the 6'7" is a reach, considering some of the names that were there: Zay Flowers, Xavier Worthy, Chris Olave. First pick in the 7th, then T.J. Hawkinson, Patrick Mahomes. We got to get a flex still, but I think that we can potentially get lucky here. Bo Nix, are we going to see a run on quarterbacks here? That could potentially help me out with some of these wide receivers falling to me. So I wouldn't be mad at that. Let's see. We've got 4 more picks until we get to make another selection. DJ Moore is 3rd here. Calvin Ridley is there. Odunze. Pickens just went. Sure. Kelsey just went. Damn, I'm going to be in a situation where DJ Moore is there for me. But, I mean, rankings be damned. I feel better about Rome Odunze. I think the connection between him and Caleb Williams better. Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, Hunter. I'll probably go Ridley first. Okay, there goes DJ Moore, so I don't even have to worry about it. Let's go with Rome Odunze. Yeah, let's do that. Jalen Waddle, Dak. So this is where I'm going to reach a little bit, and I'm going to select Rashee Rice. I'm going to reach a little bit because I don't think that he is going to be there for me. Well, yeah, I'm going to do it right now because out of all the guys that are still left, he by far and away has the highest upside at wide receiver. And I think this is a build here, like I said before, where it makes sense to select Rashee Rice because we need some help with wide receiver. And, as long as you can have him for a portion of the season, especially like playoff time, I think we're okay. Just sneak into the playoffs, then insert Rice instead of like a Jameson Williams, something like that. I feel pretty good about it, folks, especially when you have home run hitters like McCaffrey, Genty, McBride, Jaden Daniels. So, I mean, I'd be really curious to see the grade we get here on a squad like this, but yeah, I think that we swung for the fences, and I told you that's kind of what we do. We waited for wide receivers until the 5th round, and then the last 4 picks have been all wide receiver. No surprise there. Let's look at some of these other names. And, we haven't seen anything too crazy here, I would say, in regards to reaches, in regards to weird, crazy picks. It's been kind of per the rankings, which, again, that's why I always say it's crazy the different teams you can build from platform to platform. And this is the perfect example. Aaron Jones going in the middle of the 8th, I think that's crazy. As long as he's staying healthy, he's the main running back for the Vikings. So that's something to consider here. Tyrone Tracy, another good pick. Let's see what happens here. So other guys that I like, Pearsall could be. But he's gonna get selected. Jerry Jeudy feels like a decent pick too, I would say. What other names? Jordan Mason, I would say you can take a chance on him, but I don't feel as desperate to do that, considering that I don't have Aaron Jones. Shoot, is this where we go? Ja'Cory Merritt might be. It might be. Question is, can you really pinpoint who the top running back is going to be for Washington? Easier said than done. I really still think that is not as big of a certainty as the online keyboard warriors would lead you to believe on Twitter and everywhere else. So that's my 2 cents on that. Other names, Stephon Diggs just went. Oh, it's my turn to draft. All right. Well, if you say so. Jacoby Myers requesting a trade. You know what? Let me get Jerry Judy first. Load up on some more wide receivers. And now we'll go with Jacory. There we go. So, yeah, I don't mind how this squad is turning out. Really, like I said, going for it all. We could use another running back here, though, just for depth purposes. Guys like Charbonnet have appeal. Guys like, Mixon when he returns, but we could look elsewhere. Braylon Allen. Yeah, Brian Robinson as a handcuff to Christian McCaffrey, I would say, is almost a must. What else stands out? Dylan Sampson for Cleveland could be a good value, but I think we've gotten to the point where, a lot of auto picks, a lot of stuff like that. Look, folks, the core of our roster is all good, right? Jaden Daniels, Jameson Williams, Sutton, McCaffrey, Genty, McBride, Odunze. This is the downside if you go. I said that there's going to be a downside if you go tight end early, but if you go tight end and quarterback early, you see the potential repercussions. You hope that the quarterback and tight end that you selected early can really deliver on those expectations, because if not, going to be a long season. But hey, let me know your thoughts. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitter, X at AllDayPigskin, to continue interacting with us there. But in the meantime, we will see you guys in future